Hello, my name is Hawa. I'm here to help you learn English. Please listen carefully. Why your brain understands English, but you still can't speak. Let me start with a question that may surprise you. Why can you understand English when you listen, but suddenly forget everything when you try to speak? Why do words disappear at the exact moment you need them? If this has happened to you, you are not alone. Millions of English learners experience the same problem every day, and most of them believe something is wrong with their brain. But what if your brain is actually working correctly? What if the problem is not confusion, but misunderstanding how speaking develops? Many learners think that listening and speaking are the same skill. They believe that if they understand English, speaking should be easy. But language does not work that way. Listening comes first. Speaking comes later. Your brain needs time to change information into action. Think about this. When you listen, your brain is relaxed. You are receiving information. You are not under pressure. You can guess meaning. You can miss words and still understand the idea. But when you speak, pressure appears. You must choose words. You must build sentences. You must think about pronunciation. You must think about grammar, all at the same time. This pressure blocks your brain. That is why silence happens. That silence does not mean you don't know English. It means your brain is not ready to produce it yet. And that is completely normal. Most learners make a big mistake here. They stop listening and start memorizing more grammar. They believe rules will fix the problem. But rules do not create fluency. Exposure does. Fluency is built when your brain hears English again and again in real situations. That is why listening is so powerful. When you listen daily, your brain slowly builds a language map. It learns which words usually come together. It learns natural sentence patterns. It learns rhythm and flow. This knowledge is not conscious. You cannot explain it, but you can feel it. One day, a sentence comes out naturally, and you don't know why. That is listening working. But this process needs patience. Many learners listen for a few days and expect miracles. When nothing changes, they feel disappointed. But listening is a long-term investment. At first, progress is invisible. Later, it becomes unstoppable. Another important point is how you listen. If you listen with stress, learning slows down. If you listen with curiosity, learning accelerates. Curiosity keeps your brain open. Instead of asking, "Why don't I understand this word?" ask, "What is the general idea?" Instead of stopping the audio, continue listening. Your brain is smarter than you think. It learns even when you feel lost. Now, let me ask you something. What if your silence is not failure, but preparation? What if your brain is collecting pieces, waiting for the right moment to use them? This idea changes everything. because it removes fear. And when fear disappears, progress begins. Now that you understand why silence happens, let's talk about how to move forward. The goal is not to force speaking. The goal is to prepare the brain correctly. And the best preparation is smart listening. Smart listening means choosing content you can mostly understand, but not perfectly. When content is too easy, your brain is bored. When it is too hard, your brain is stressed. The best level is somewhere in the middle. You understand the story. You miss some details. You stay curious. This is where growth happens. Another key element is repetition. Many learners avoid repetition because it feels boring. But repetition is how the brain learns patterns. When you hear the same structure again and again, it becomes automatic. You stop thinking. You start using. That is the moment speaking improves. You don't need to repeat everything. Just important sentences. Just useful phrases. Say them out loud. Not perfectly. Just clearly. Speaking badly is better than not speaking at all. Now, let's talk about confidence. Confidence does not appear before action. Confidence appears after action. The first time you speak, it will feel uncomfortable. The second time, slightly easier. The 10th time, natural. Confidence is built step by step. Another important habit is patience with yourself. Your brain is learning a new system. It needs time. If you judge yourself every day,
Motivation dies.
if you support yourself, progress grows. Remember this simple rule. You are on the right path. Now imagine your future. You're listening to English. And you're calm. You're speaking. And words come faster. You're not perfect. But you are confident. That future is realistic. Not because English is easy, but because your brain knows how to learn it. So keep listening. Even on busy days. Even on tired days. Listening is never wasted time. Every minute you listen, your brain moves forward. And one day, you will notice something beautiful. You are no longer silent. You are speaking, and it feels natural. Now, let's go deeper because understanding the problem is only half of the journey. The other half is changing the way you think while learning English. Many learners believe that learning happens only when they feel improvement, but real learning often happens silently. Your brain works in the background. Even when you think nothing is changing. This is why quitting is so dangerous. When you stop listening, your brain loses momentum. The patterns it was building slowly begin to fade. That is why many learners feel they are always starting again from zero. But you are never truly at zero. Every minute you listened before still matters. Another powerful idea is this. Your brain needs time without pressure to produce language. When you force yourself to speak before you are ready, you create stress. Stress tells the brain that English is a threat, not a tool, and the brain always avoids threats. That is why relaxed exposure is so important. When you listen while calm, your brain opens. When you listen while curious, your brain connects. When you listen without judging yourself, your brain grows. This is also why enjoyment matters. If listening feels like punishment, you will resist it. If listening feels interesting, you will return to it. Choose topics you care about. Choose voices you enjoy. Choose stories that make you curious. Learning is faster when you forget that you are learning. Now, let's talk about one final mistake. Many learners wait for a perfect level to start speaking. They believe one day they will wake up fluent. That day never comes. Speaking does not begin after fluency. Fluency begins after speaking. Even short, simple sentences are enough. I understand. I don't know. Can you repeat? These small sentences build courage. Courage builds confidence. Confidence builds fluency. Another important point is acceptance. Accept that you will not sound like a native speaker at first. Accept that your accent will exist. Accept that mistakes will happen. Accent is not failure. Mistakes are not weakness. Communication is the goal. If people understand you, you are successful. Now imagine this future again. But more clearly, you are in a conversation. You don't understand every word, but you understand enough. You answer. The other person answers back. The conversation continues. That is real English. Not perfect, not planned, but alive. And that moment will come to you, not because you memorized more rules, but because you listened enough. So here is the final message of this listening. Do not rush your brain. Do not fight your silence. Do not fear your mistakes. Listen with patience. Speak with courage. Grow with time. English is not something you chase. English is something you build. Slowly, naturally, honestly. And if you continue listening like this, one day you will realize something important. You're no longer asking, why can't I speak English? You're simply speaking.